Good morning, everyone. For Telesur, I'm Cody Weddle in Caracas, Venezuela. We're going to begin this morning in Peru, where late yesterday a march was held there protesting a youth labor law which cuts back worker rights for those under the age of 25. Police attacked protesters when they tried to march to the Congress of the Republic. Now, yesterday's march was the fourth in a series of marches which have been among the largest in the country for decades. The youth law allows businesses to cut severance payments, bonuses, Social Security, and life insurance, while also reducing occupational insurance and vacation time from 30 to 15 days. Even though the law only applies to people under 25, critics expect businesses to fire older employees and replace them with younger people in order to take advantage of the law. In Colombia, the latest statements by President Juan Manuel Santos have injected further hope into the country's ongoing peace process. Our correspondent Natalia Margarita reports from Bogotá.
Member of the Peace Commission in the Colombian Congress, Ángela María Robledo, received with hope President Santos' announcement that he has given instructions to his peace negotiators to begin talks on a bilateral ceasefire with the FARC. For Robledo, this is a great relief and a step in the right direction.
In the heart of Colombia, there are the rural workers, the indigenous communities, the human rights defenders, the Afro-descendants, all of those people who every day have to live among the violence. That's the Colombia from which we have received calls for a ceasefire and for advancing an agenda that allows us to give a surname to peace, peace with social justice.
For Paula Gaviria, director of the Unit for the Reparation of the Victims, Colombia has taken one of the most daring decisions a government has to ever take: to compensate the victims of the conflict while armed confrontations are still occurring. This historic decision will bring with it huge challenges.
It implies not being able to offer the victims guarantees of non-repetition, which is the biggest desire of all victims, that it does not happen again, neither to them or others.
Like Robledo, Paula considers that a bilateral ceasefire will not just bring relief to those caught in the middle of the crossfire, but also will contribute immensely to the titanic task of compensating the more than 7 million of victims of Colombia's armed conflict.
To be able to concentrate all efforts on compensation, and above all to give the victims the confidence that it won't happen again, that they are going to be able to go out into the street, to be citizens and live a life without fear and in peace.
Following President Santos' speech, the FARC released a statement welcoming the announcement and saying that they are ready for a bilateral ceasefire. Reparation of the victims will be at the center of the discussions during the next cycle of peace talks in Havana, Cuba, scheduled to begin on Monday, January 26. From Bogotá, Natalia Margarita, Telesur.
And thanks to Natalia, we go to the Caribbean now, where the government of St. Lucia has defended lowering fuel prices. Now, the price of fuel is adjusted quarterly, with the latest adjustment announced this week. While the government is standing by its price system, some drivers believe the new price should be lower. Here's Allison Kentish.
The St. Lucian government is defending the new price of $13.64 per gallon for fuel, which was announced this week. It's a reduction from the $15.85 St. Lucians have been paying for petrol since October 2014. While the opposition says the reduction is not enough and has vowed protest action, the government is defending the new price and the system used to calculate it.
The excise tax has been reduced substantially from 2011 to today, 2015, and in fact has been as high as $3 in the previous administration and is currently down to $2.48.
Joseph Alexander represents employers on the island. He says the lower the price of petrol, the better it is for the economy.
There'd be more money now in the pockets of consumers, and they would now go out and spend. So I know we really look forward to a major reduction in the price of petrol.
But the driver and union boss Financius Popo is not happy with the new prices.
I'm saying that everybody was hoping that they would get some relief from the pumps, at least between $10.50 and at least $12.
The price of fuel has become a topic of heated debate throughout the Caribbean. Most islands adjusted the price of fuel this week. The government of St. Lucia says the change in the mechanism used to adjust the price of fuel aims to create stability and to reduce the exposure of St. Lucians and the economy to the volatility of international oil prices. From Castries, St. Lucia, Alison Kentish for Telesur English.
Alison Kentish in St. Lucia there. And now we go to the United States, where protests against police racism and impunity continue. Yesterday in New York, protesters marched to the site where Eric Garner died after being placed in a chokehold almost 6 months ago. The group of protesters started at the 120th Precinct Police Headquarters and made their way to the offices of the Richmond County District Attorney. In December, District Attorney Daniel Donovan confirmed a New York grand jury's decision not to indict the police officer who killed Garner. At the end of the march, protesters laid white flowers at the spot where Garner died. In Belgium, 2 men suspected of involvement in a terrorist attack plot to be carried out have been killed during a police raid. Belgian authorities claim they were conducting the raid as part of an investigation into what they say was a major terrorist plot. It was being hatched by fighters returning from Syria's civil war. When the raid began, 2 men allegedly opened fire on officers. 3 other suspects of Belgian nationality have also been arrested. And lastly, today we end with an underwater volcano off the coast of Tonga that is spewing ash into the air, exploding every 5 minutes. That's according to TV3 New Zealand. The Hunga Tonga Hunaipai volcano, if I said that right, was filmed by a Tongan geologist. He described a wall of ash 400 meters high. Several Air New Zealand and Tonga flights have been affected. The underwater volcano is one of many that line the Tonga Trench on the Pacific Plate. Plenty more on those stories and others at our website, telesurtv.net/English. We'll see you again with the latest headlines in just a few hours. For Telesur English, I'm Cody Weddle. Hope you have a great Friday.